Okay, I've got fresh tracks over here. In fact, these are probably from earlier today.
In southern Arizona, less than a mile from the Mexican border, a hunt is getting underway.
I'm gonna take my gun.
This motley bunch of part-time vigilantes is armed and ready to defend its homeland against intruders from the south.
This is a major freeway, and this is a large branch. I mean, we've pulled probably 700 people out of here since we discovered it. That's one trail.
Chris Simcox is a former school teacher who founded this militia group, Civil Homeland Defence, last year. Every weekend they head out here to round up illegal immigrants.
We're just here checking our backyards. We've never found anyone out here that was not an illegal alien, you know, an illegal intruder into our country.
Chris stays in constant radio contact with the authorities, the US Border Patrol.
Oh, jeez. Holy cow. Everybody copy that? Holy cow.
What's happened?
We've got Border Patrol right now on an armed, chasing an armed group, and shots have been fired.
Soon, word comes through from the Border Patrol that the militia has visitors.
We got a group running around in here. How come he cut out? Has he copied you? Try.
CP, can you copy me? Give us another location.
Yeah, I got him right here.
Chris thinks the people we spotted weren't immigrants, but the advanced scouts, known as coyotes, who are paid to guide them. He decides to call off the chase.
Talk about the plan. They've already made the ridge on the other side of the trailer. I say we call it. These must be some bad dudes, man. They don't want to give up. Man, I hate going in there. Oh, I hate this. I don't like this. Next fence, we stop.
But according to Chris Simcox, his group is more fearful of the Mexicans than they are of the vigilantes.
Not one person's ever been harmed. We've been threatened many times. We've had some groups on the ground who, you know, swore that, well, told us point blank that if we didn't have guns, that they would kill us. And that they want to get into America no matter what.
As the light begins to fade, the hunt starts in earnest.
Down into the trees, and they're headed your way, so
They're headed. Let's
Okay, I'm ready to tree.
They're right there. Hold on.
Right here, if you guys are almost by the cattle guard, just come across.
A group of 25 Mexicans, including children, is found waiting patiently for their guides. No one attempts to resist or even run.
American citizens? ID, United States citizens? No? Mexico? See? Called Migra, coming to get you. Necesito agua? No. Medicina? No. No? Okay.
Yes, right here.
Chris tells the group that the immigration authorities are coming to collect them. There's nothing to do now but wait.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
In response to the Vigilantes' citizens' arrest of the Mexicans, a Black Hawk helicopter is called in to assist.
Hold your lights up. Get the helicopter light.
The Black Hawk circles the group, guiding the way as US Border Patrol agents drive to the location.
So we rate to bring this Black Hawk helicopter in here, huh? I'm telling you what. It was working.
Soon the authorities arrive to take over from the militia.
Welcome out that way, Keener. Welcome out that way. Uno tras del otro. Manos arriba. Síganos acá. We're going back to the vehicle. Yeah. Síganos.
The Mexicans will be taken to an immigration service processing centre, fingerprinted and photographed, and provided they're not wanted by the police, will be driven back over the border and dropped off in Mexico. But the night is still early. Just minutes after Border Patrol leaves, Chris Simcox and his militia uncover another group of people hidden in the wilderness.
Here, we got more. Siéntese. No, we got plenty here.
I'm coming. Somebody stay here. Somebody stay here. Somebody stay here.
This is an even larger group, and Chris is worried that he and his militia will be in trouble if they decide to run.
Back off!
I am backing off.
Stay back.
Stay back.
Siéntese, por favor.
I got 4 more that ran back in here.
We got another group. We need Border Patrol.
You an American citizen? No? We got some more on the run.
There's another one
Where?
right there, right in front of you.
Oh, boy. Slippery little guys. Here we go. Come on, man. Damn, you don't want to stay out here all by yourself, do you? You got to be with your friends. I got more.
As the migrants are rounded up, it's apparent that this group contains a number of young children.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids.
Is this more children than you usually see?
Yes, this is a lot more children we usually see. Usually maybe 2 in a group, 1, 2. This is incredible. I got 21. Somebody else count?
Ed?
Don't come here and take our jobs. You know, come in legally. Legal, no problemo. Legal. Don't sneak into our country anymore.
Since October last year, Chris's militia has rounded up over 1,300 undocumented migrants and handed them over to the authorities.
This is very typical. Every night. Night after night after night. They think it's a game, and it is a game.
It is a game.
It's a game because the United States doesn't, or is not firm enough, and again, we need this message to Vicente Fox and to the people of Mexico that we mean business. But they think Border Patrol's a joke.
Nosotros no intentamos hacerlo de ustedes, pero hasta la migra llegan todas las noches en la cadena.
We will it go to Mexico?
No, can't do that.
Why? One chance, please.
With such massive numbers of people flooding across the border every day, the authorities have been overwhelmed, and citizens' militia groups like this one have taken on the job of protecting America's borders.
It's not the role of civilians by any means to be essentially kidnapping people. They're holding people against their will with the threat of violence, and in some cases direct violence. I mean, it's kidnapping.
Jennifer Allen is a human rights activist who first raised the alarm about vigilante action on the US border in Arizona.
The fact that they continue to do their unlawful detentions and harassments and chase people down with dogs contributes to an a larger anti-immigrant environment in the state. It says that it's okay to hunt Mexicans, it's okay to hunt immigrants, and it's okay to target people based upon their immigration status, whatever it may be.
25?
Oh yeah, we forgot. We caught three more kids were over in the bushes.
The US Border Patrol refused to give Dateline a formal interview, but according to human rights activists, the authorities are not only turning a blind eye to the vigilantes' activities, they're encouraging them.
The Border Patrol has not condemned these groups at all, and in fact is very complicit. One of the kind of legal arguments that groups have been pushing, particularly the American Civil Liberties Union, is that the fact that the Border Patrol continue to show up and respond to the vigilantes means that they've sort of de facto deputized them.
In the Arizona Wild West town of Tombstone, vigilantes are part of local history. It's from here that Chris Simcox's border militia group has drawn most of its volunteers. This is the town that witnessed the reign of Wyatt Earp and Doc Halliday, the vigilante heroes who cleared Tombstone of its outlaws, starting with their legendary shootout at the OK Corral.
I happen to be a good guy and I've got a gun. Good guy!
Come on, you cowards! This is a gunfight, not a ballet! You can make more noise than that, I'm the bad guy!
Now the only glimpse into Tombstone's bloody past is a vaudeville-style show put on for the tourists.
You ready for a gunfight? Yeah! Did you bring your guns? No! Well, how are you gonna shoot back?
When Chris Simcox moved here from California early last year, his first job was in this very show.
Thataway, Marshal.
I'm gonna buy my own bottle.
But Simcox had higher ambitions, and calling on his retirement savings, he bought the town's ailing newspaper, the Tombstone Tumbleweed.
Good paper last week. I'm happy.
Simcox says local citizens were fed up with the constant flow of migrants across the border. Late last year, he used his paper for a dramatic call to arms.
For 10 years, people in Cochise County have been going to Washington, begging for help with this problem. They've continued to ignore it. Enough is enough. The citizens chose to do the job themselves, to take a stand, to get up out of our lazy boys, turn off the television, and actually force the government to address the problem by going out and doing it ourselves and challenging them to do the right thing.
Chris Simcox wants to show me one of the reasons why residents here are so angry about illegal immigration.
Oh, airline tickets, bus tickets, they come from all over the world.
This dried up riverbed is used as a meeting point by the migrants. We find piles of discarded water bottles, clothes and backpacks.
You want me to take you down here and show you the human feces? I didn't show you that. I could show you El Baño. You know, human feces, you saw the trash. This is a horrible biohazard situation. And now we have people dying in our county. 28 people since the first of the year have died in our county. That's unacceptable. That's a biohazard. We don't need people dying in our backyards.
Hope is flowing like a river, flowing out of you and me.
Last year, nearly 150 people died in the desert near here. For human rights activists like this group gathered near Tucson, this isn't a public health issue, but rather a humanitarian crisis.
So that all the migrants who have died in the desert may not be forgotten. Amen.
So I don't know if writing letters or calls or anything.
Kat Rodriguez is an American who's proud of her Hispanic ancestry. Like many in America's Southwest, she's descended from people who lived in this area long before white Americans. She says many of those driving vigilante-style action on the border, like Chris Simcox, have moved into the area to promote racism.
They've come to this area and they're racist. That's like, you know, moving to Africa and saying, what's up with all the black people? I mean, you've come to an area that is a border with Mexico and there's a huge, you know, our group was divided. It's the same people, though, it's the same blood, it's the same culture. They come in and then they're annoyed that Mexico's so close, you know.
Rodriguez works for a human rights group which has been investigating allegations of vigilante violence against undocumented migrants. Few are reported, and those that are remain unsolved. One of the most disturbing incidents occurred last year when a group of 12 migrants who'd just crossed the border were sheltering at stockyards north of Tucson.
A truck pulled up and 2 individuals got out in camouflage gear and just opened fire on people. Everyone went scattering and running. One man got away and actually made it to a nearby ranch and was telling the rancher, the soldiers are going to kill me, the soldiers are going to kill me. And the man was like, you know, this is the United States, this doesn't work, we don't have that here, you know. He called the police. The next morning they went out there. They found 2 migrants dead. And from the tracks, the other 9 were rounded up into a vehicle, and nobody knows what happened to them. To this day, nobody knows.
But the majority of people dying on America's southern frontier are dying from natural causes. When the summer temperatures start pushing up the mercury, the death rate soars. This year, up to 300 people are expected to perish in the harsh conditions.
He was born in Mexico. He didn't have anything.
Okay.
These are Mexican birth certificates.
Although the US Border Patrol wouldn't agree to a formal interview about vigilante activities in Arizona, it did allow Dateline to film 2 of its search and rescue officers at work. Julie and David attending to a Mexican man they spotted sitting in the bushes.
When they come out and sit on the side of the road, they've given up. He's hurt. He hurt his knee. His group left him last night, I think. Was it last night they said? Fortunately for him, they left him close to a road, I guess, so he was able to find the road. But a lot of times, you know, the weak get left behind and they end up dying out there.
The man is starving, and these agents demonstrate nothing but courtesy and compassion. But other Border Patrol officers have been accused of violating human rights.
This summer, we've had 2 Border Patrol agents shoot and kill migrants who did absolutely nothing. In one case in June, there was a man who was actually running back across the border and he was shot 6 times by a Border Patrol agent. In another case, there was a man outside Nogales who was picked up by Border Patrol agents, severely beaten, deported, and then a week later he died from his injuries.
This is the border that's proven so difficult to defend, and it's easy to see why. There's a simple barbed wire fence and a broken sign warning would-be immigrants of the harsh desert conditions. Just a few metres away, a cattle grid makes crossing the border a breeze.
Go!
Okay.
Julie and David say Border Patrol agents face an impossible task, and they're sympathetic towards locals who take the law into their own hands.
you look at it, if they're protecting their own property, I mean, that's their right as American citizens to do that.
So it's a bit of a catch-22, you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they do have the right to do it, and you know, they have the right to protect their property.
Base to HT1, had a hit on sensor 6, reported 13 SBIs.
Roger that, they're en route now.
10-4 base clear.
Okay, let's get going, guys.
We're on our way.
We're 45 minutes into the mission.
Another group of concerned citizens commences its hunt. Glenn Spencer, a prominent anti-immigration activist, has set up a non-profit organisation called American Patrol. It's a kind of a high-tech militia with an array of sensors along the border in order to detect intruders.
We estimate probably 200 to 300 will come in here, through here any one night, maybe more, along this river. We just got a hit on one of our sensors down here.
Are you getting video?
Unlike Chris Simcox, Spencer doesn't detain the immigrants. He uses video cameras to film them and a portable satellite transmission tower to beam the images to his internet website before calling in the Border Patrol. At a private airport just a mile from the border, Spencer tests out his latest weapon to stem the flow of illegal immigrants. A pilotless aircraft flying up and down the US international boundary, sending back live video as it goes. Soon he plans to have dozens of these spies in the sky to stop what he calls the reconquest of Southwest America.
And so when people say they're only coming up here to get jobs, they're wrong. And in fact, a lot of them believe and are motivated by the idea of coming and retaking this land in the name of Mexico. And I believe that 95% of the people who cross that border believe that.
America is being transformed almost overnight. A combination of legal and illegal immigration coupled with citizen children or anchor babies born to illegal aliens is allowing Mexico to colonize the American Southwest. And
Spencer's conspiracy theory revolves around the Mexican takeover of ancient Aztec lands known as Aztlan. He's produced this video to publicize the danger.
And this colonization is being done with the tacit approval of the American government.
As I got into this over the years, I began to learn that there was a much more sinister dimension to this movement, that it is one of la reconquista, the taking back of land which they feel was stolen from them. It was not.
Like Chris Simcox, Glenn Spencer has moved here from California. Here in Arizona's volatile border zone, his services are in high demand.
The only thing I can tell you, Glenn, is you just have to pick up where they congregate here and just follow their trail.
Well, now is a good time because we've had...
Glenn Spencer and his team have been called in to assist a landowner, Les Stafford, whose backyard has become a major transit point for illegal immigrants.
What? Are they coming over this saddle right here out of Car Canyon? Are they coming right straight down Ramsey off the Crest Trail? We don't know. Once we find that information out, then we'll have a better chance of getting sensors out here to prepare you for them being here. You'll know they're coming before they get here.
They walk over the mountains and there's a staging area there. They have a coyote with them who has a cell phone, I assume. And he calls whoever's going to come and pick them up. And the cars roll in, the vans roll in, they run out of the trees. I've seen 30, 40 of them at a time come running out of the trees and get in vans and leave.
Although the immigrants haven't come into Les's house, he warns that there'll be trouble if they do.
I've got an alarm on the house there, and I carry a gun, so if they come, they're not leaving. They'll carry them out in the profile, you know.
And we want documents.
As Glenn and his boys inspect the property, it's clear this is a major staging area for illegal border crossers.
This is repeated hundreds, if not thousands of times across this area.
Where they walk off to go do their business.
The team makes plans to blanket the area with sensors, giving Les plenty of warning the next time a group comes through. As far as Les is concerned, Glenn Spencer is a true patriot.
I think the man has got his country at heart, and he's trying to do something to stop the illegals. He's trying to make the American public aware of what's going on in this country.
Is it a bottle of medicine there? I guess so. Let me see.
But human rights activists think Glenn Spencer's motives are more sinister, comparing him to a well-known leader of the Ku Klux Klan.
Look at Spencer, sort of the high-tech version of David Duke. Whereas others put on white sheets, Glenn Spencer pulls out his cameras and his live satellite uplinks. The medium may be different, but the message and the impact is still the same.
But Spencer says he's no racist.
Hell, I spent 10 years working with American Indians, fighting for their rights. My chief technician that I hired had to buy him a new Bronco to come to work for us was a Mexican, and he had a white girlfriend to boot, and I had to bring her aboard too, and he had also had a Mexican wife, and all of that stuff that any racist would not put up with, you know.
Just because Glenn Spencer may have a Jewish friend or a Native American friend does not excuse his actions nor his words, which are very much geared towards hunting down immigrants, be them Mexican, Central American, South American, or Asian. The effect is still the same, that all people of color are being targeted.
They even call it themselves La Reconquista. They are taking back what they feel was lost as the result of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. And you...
Several published reports, including one from America's Anti-Defamation League, claim to have found real links between Glenn Spencer and white supremacist organizations.
It's all created, fabricated. There isn't an ounce of truth in it. But it's revealing. It's revealing when you look at someone with my background who is attacked in this way. It says more. Okay, it says more about the people who are attacking me than it does about me.
But the Anti-Defamation League asserts Spencer's organization has received financial and moral support from known hate groups who accept his Aztlan conspiracy.
This rhetoric that he feeds out nationwide to groups that don't know us on the East Coast, from the hate mail that we get, they believe it. They truly believe that we are agents sent here to claim this land for Aztlan, which makes no sense.
Tell them we'll give them guns. Revolution.
Yeah.
Chris Simcox has returned to the border for another nightly roundup.
Don't come anymore. We got citizens, American citizens. We say no. No more. No mas. You go back, you fight. Vicente Fox. Bang, bang. Revolution. No jobs? No jobs. Revolution. Make jobs.
He's just detained a large group and tells them that the only answer to their problems is to overthrow the democratically elected government of President Vicente Fox.
Yes, I need it working. Everybody working? Fight your government. Get some guns. Revolution. Vicente Fox, he's a crook. He put you guys out of work. NAFTA sucks.
Yeah, they understand that one, Chris.
They got that one. That's pretty good.
I like that one, Chris.
That was one of your better ones, Chris.
Damn. They've all got nice clothes, brand new tennis shoes, brand new hats. They look like they came right off the street of any major city here in this country. These are not poor migrant workers. These are people who are coming here to take advantage of America.
Tonight's group were discovered after being tracked for more than 2 hours.
Si yo voy para México no papeles, me put me in la cárcel. Ahorita sí, no. Vengan tú, mis amigos, se ponen al casa.
Tired from the hunt, members of the militia like Henry, who in fact has Mexican ancestry, express their anger.
They're really surprised. They're really surprised that I'm doing this, and they ask me, why are you doing this? And I said, because you guys are breaking our laws. If I went to Mexico with no documents, I'd be arrested. So, you know, you're breaking the laws of this nation, and I'm policing it. And I've told them, and I told the media, I'm an American first, and then I'm a Hispanic second.
Our major cities are being overrun now and turned into areas that look and act just like Mexico.
Do you feel, though, for the women and children to
Of
see
course.
them terrified?
Of course. Well, I don't see that they were so terrified. They're laughing and giggling and eating cookies.
I feel bad for them, but then I don't, because don't live off our system. Too many men and women have died in this country and have died for this flag, to be trampled on and disrespected by people that invade this country the way they do.
Nothing to it, huh?
But for this group, the patriotic fervour of these self-appointed vigilantes means very little. Desperately poor, these people say they're forced to make the arduous journey north to find work to support their families.
Nosotros sabemos cuál es el riesgo, pero aún así queremos venir a trabajar. Es lo único que pedimos, trabajo. No venimos a hacer cosas malas.
But Chris Simcox has no time for sob stories. He wants to see the introduction of much harsher penalties for border crossers, including detention.
I would detain them, and I would put them in a work camp, and I'd have them out here cleaning up, and then they'd get sent back after that. Put a couple of bucks in their pocket and tell them, don't come back. There must be a punishment. There needs to be a deterrent. Otherwise, it's just a game.
On that point, even the Mexicans acknowledge this is a game of hide and seek they'll continue to play.
Mañana me echan para afuera, pero mañana aquí estoy de vuelta.
You know what? Yo también.
Regreso hasta que les gane. Les tengo que ganar un día. ¿Verdad? O sea, les tengo que cruzar. O sea, tengo que burlar la vigilancia algún día. Porque tengo que durar medio año.
Atrás de cada uno pagan 2 líneas.
Ultimately, despite the civilian patrols, the high-tech surveillance and the life-threatening desert conditions, poor migrants will continue to risk it all for a chance at prosperity.